I am so ready to get my spark back, and I am done with living a mediocre life. If you feel the same way, I'm excited for you to watch this video because I'm going to walk through all the things that I am planning on doing, kind of have been doing, but want to take more seriously in this journey of getting my spark back. We're going to walk through all of those steps that I am taking. So if you want to get your spark back, you can take the same steps and actually find yourself again. Hi, I'm Jen, and welcome to Your Embodied Self. This is a space where we have soul level chats on all things becoming your highest self, everything from nervous system regulation, somatic healing, cultivating your feminine energy, manifestation, and so much more. If you're into that kind of vibe, I would love for you to stick around and hit that subscribe button so you can hear more about how I'm going about actually becoming my most vibrant, abundant, and magnetic self, and how you can too. Okay, today I really want to talk about 6 things that I am doing and planning on doing to get my spark back. And because I'm not just messing around anymore and I'm taking this seriously, I'm gonna actually commit to doing this process and these things that I'm going to share with you for the next 30 days. So kind of like a little experiment, if you will. I know that these things are going to work, but I really want to give it my all. So I'm somewhat challenging myself, doing and looking at this like an experiment, but still being gentle along the way. Overall, I really do think that losing your spark comes from a deeper disconnection from self and a misalignment somewhere in your life that is asking you to pay attention to it. And then maybe we have all of these other symptoms and side effects like the burnout that end up coming and make you no longer be able to ignore the fact that you have been misaligned or you're out of alignment, and now it's time that you need to actually focus on getting back into alignment. Getting your spark back means creating alignment in your life once again. And that leads me to the 6 things that I am going to be doing to get my spark back. I've been doing bits and pieces of these things on and off for a while since I've been reflecting on the fact that I really want to get my spark back, but I am really wanting to fully commit, like I said, and actually dive into being dialed in and devoted to doing these things for at least 30 days. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And actually, when this video goes live, it is going to be exactly the first of the month. So I'm excited to commit myself to do this for 30 days. And if you want to do the same, I would encourage you to do that as well. First up is finding joy in the little moments. This is really something that we can do no matter what. A big piece of this is really just a perspective shift. And I say finding joy in the little moments and honestly just making every moment more fun, because we don't need to go about just like up and changing everything in our life to find our spark again. I don't think that's the answer. I feel like a lot of us are inclined to do that and like, oh, what big flashy change do I need to make now and have this big thing happen and, do a lot more. We don't have to do a lot more. We can just actually slow down and become present to each and every moment and actually the beauty of each and every moment. We really miss that in our day-to-day when we are just in survival mode. What I'm going to be doing is see how I can notice things in a different light and really savor and enjoy all of the moments of life. An example of this, and I think one that a lot of people can relate to, is really savoring and enjoying your morning cup of coffee or tea or matcha or whatever it is that you may have in the mornings. Sipping it, savoring it, even while you're making it, like making it with intention, stirring it with putting your energy into it, just really being grateful for that experience of, oh, I get to enjoy this cup of coffee. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a magical gift that I have gotten today to actually just have this moment and sip my coffee? Like, how great is that? So making every moment fun, making it joyful, making it about gratitude, shifting that perspective instead of just going on autopilot throughout the entire day and not even recognizing that, like, hey, this life is actually pretty incredible. Even without changing anything about it, this is awesome. Or even things like just being grateful to stretch a little bit in the morning or take some deep breaths, and how wonderful that feels in your body. Or looking outside and looking at the trees or the birds chirping. Maybe it's the fact that you notice someone else smiling on your commute to work, right? Notice things. Notice how cool life is. If we don't notice it, it's gonna pass us by. Whatever it might be, like taking all the little moments in. So I'm gonna be practicing finding those little moments of joy throughout the entire day and not just waiting for blatant, obvious things to be happy about. I'm gonna be happy about everything. And I say that like as much as I can. We're all human. Of course, sometimes that's not going to be the case. But as much as I possibly can, finding the joy in all of the little tiny moments of my day. And along with this one, I want to add something else I would love to do with this getting my spark back is actually planning one thing per week, making it manageable. That is something that I look forward to. And it doesn't need to be a big thing. It could be something like plans that I have with friends, or it could be that I'm really looking forward to taking really like a morning to myself and having an extended period of time where I just get to do whatever I want, and maybe finding or following my inner child's joy. Just something each week that I have to look forward to. And I think that looking forward to energy is really helpful to get some excitement about life back. So I'm going to be doing both, mainly focusing on the little joys in every single moment, but then planning one thing each week too to look forward to. Number 2 is decluttering and clearing space. The urge to purge has been something that has continually been nudging me and coming up with my intuitive downloads, if you will, over the past while, like for months and months. And I've done a little bit of it, but not much. I haven't created a lot of momentum there in getting rid of old things, clearing out old spaces, outdated things. I just don't need anymore. And when we have a lot of clutter, stuff taking up our energetic space, that really weighs on us more than we think. And I think in more of an energetic capacity than anything that we just don't realize, right? It's normal to have, a junk drawer or closet filled with crap. Like that stuff can become normal, or a really overloaded inbox even, where your desktop files are just like going wild, going rogue. All of these things add on that energetic stagnation. And I really, really feel like clearing space every time I have done a good declutter of things. It feels so good. And I'm going to lean into that. And that's something that I want to do to help get my spark back. I'm really feeling intuitively that that's a piece of this. And clearing space also creates more space for new things to enter. So I'm going to be decluttering my junk drawers. I have a doom closet that is, you don't even want to see it. It's really scary. There's a lot of stuff in there. Even my wardrobe, other drawers of stuff that we just have randomly, but then also my digital space, my inbox, old things that I just don't need on my computer anymore, files, whatever. I want to be intentional about clearing, decluttering, letting go of stuff. It's giving fresh energy. Number 3 is getting back to basics. Now, this one isn't as fun, and it's kind of like we all kind of know, like this is part of really taking care of yourself and being your best self. But things like sleep hygiene and meal prepping, planning, taking care of doing workouts and moving your body, like those things, and getting back to the basics is something that nourishes this vessel of this body. Without that energy and taking care of my human body, I'm not going to feel great. So I want to be a little bit more intentional about those things. Not that I'm not, but I think that is a little bit of tweaking in those areas that could help me to feel better. Things like having a good wind down routine before bed that helps my quality of sleep improve, and making sure that I'm getting enough hours of sleep. I'm pretty good at this one because I am not good with not getting sleep. I know that for a fact. So just making that a little bit more intentional, more optimized. And then also being on top of things like meal planning and prepping, making sure that I have food that makes me feel my best for the week ahead. This is something that, coming from a food freedom background and the work that I have done over the years with clients of really intuitively eating. But when I say meal planning, I don't mean like rigid to a T, this is exactly what I gotta eat and I'm gonna track things. That's not what I mean. I mean more so, what meals are we gonna have for the week? What is the like loose plan of, we're gonna have these things for dinner, this for lunches, this for breakfast, so we can grocery shop and also like prep those things. I love, and it feels really good for me and my partner when we do meal prepping, whether that is actually sitting down and prepping breakfasts for 5 days, Monday through Friday, or it looks like when we make dinner, we make enough dinner for at least 2 or more dinners, so on and so forth. Like when we can batch things, it just really helps. And then one area that I find I don't feel as committed or devoted or, consistent with is working out. And I know that it makes me feel a lot better. Like even this morning, my partner and I did a workout together for the first time in a little while, and I feel so good today. I feel so good. So I want to be more intentional about doing more of that too. So getting back to the basics, taking care of my vessel, my body, and doing so in a intuitive, flowy, listening to myself kind of way, not a rigid kind of way. No room for that here. Number 4 is releasing stagnant energy. This kind of goes hand in hand with some of the nervous system regulation stuff that I want to talk about in other videos. But really the premise of this is that a lot of the icky feelings and survival mode patterns and all of this stuff gets stored and stuck in our bodies somatically. And if we can release that through somatic methods, by using our body, that is going to really help a lot to clear things and allow us to feel more open. I'm sure you may have heard or seen things about morning jumpies on TikTok or Instagram or wherever that may be, kind of like a lymphatic drainage routine in the morning, whether that's just jumping up and down or doing like body waves and different movements to get things flowing in our body. I'm here to tell you that like that shit works. It feels really good to do that. So I want to get more intentional about doing morning jumpies, just whether it's jumping up and down, literally like hops up and down, or dancing. Like I love just like putting on some good music that I can bop to and dance around and jump around and things. I am going to be doing that as well to help release some of the stuck energy through my body. Another thing that I love to do too on a nervous system level and working with our nervous system somatically is what I call somatic shaking. And that's literally like shaking your body, same thing, like jumping up and down, stomping up and down, shaking it all out. And it does wonders. Like I'm not kidding. If you try it like right now, just shaking for 30 seconds, I promise it'll feel really good. Number 5 is stop putting things off. This is something that again piles up and creates this overwhelm shutdown in our systems when we have these long lists of to-do items that we continue to put off. I'll do it another time. I'll do it another time. These are like the non-urgent tasks, but things that continue to keep the mental tabs open and keep you feeling like there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and we're holding on to that and our brain is just cluttered. We feel cluttered, we feel energetically cluttered because we haven't taken care of these things yet. What I really want to do with that is actually schedule some times for life admin. Brain dumping down, like literally pen to paper, writing down all of those things that are on my mind. Like this could be anything from, for example, this is super random, but putting like the little felt pads on the bottom of our chairs, or fixing that one tassel on the pillow that is falling off, or booking that dentist appointment, or whatever, like random things that you kind of put off that's doesn't really need an instantaneous action on it, getting that shit done. So brain dumping it all. And then from there, choosing one item to do every so often, or my favorite is scheduling some time for life admin time, whether that be an hour or a day or whatever, and see how many things you can get done off that list. And not carrying the weight of, oh my God, I have all these things that I haven't done, and like that's building up, and then that just dulls our whole energy, dulls our spark. Getting things done and stop putting it off. And last but not least of how I'm planning to get my spark back is number 6, time to just be with myself. This just being is quite simple, but actually really difficult for us in today's world. By just being, I mean literally quite that, like allowing yourself to just sit in silence and reflect internally, connect to yourself, actually feel what you're feeling, and be and process, really just come home to yourself. If we don't have time for that, it's really difficult for us to be able to actually get connected to our soul's desires that lead us to that point of, I feel so joyful and excited about life, and having that spark back. For me, that's going to be looking like things like just resting, just sitting, doing nothing, more spaciousness, and also bringing in elements of journaling, maybe some meditation, that kind of stuff to really just come inward and connect inward. And I find the most profound intuitive messages and inner knowings that I get often come when I just give myself space. Through this, I know that that allows me to connect to those really true, authentic soul desires, like starting this YouTube channel, and allows me to find what are those things that my soul is calling me towards, because I also find through connecting to that in a more authentic, deeper way, then we have those really aligned pieces. Or we find where actually what might be misaligned, we actually have a deeper understanding and reflection of that and what needs to change. We can actually get those messages and then feel, okay, what is aligned and what do I want to move toward? And then you have something to look forward to, something to be working on. And I find having the pursuit of working on something that I'm excited about to be probably one of the biggest things that help to get my spark back. So doing this quite literally and sharing here on YouTube is part of me getting my spark back. To wrap things up, I want to more tangibly share exactly what I'm going to be doing as I commit to getting my spark back for the next 30 days on a weekly and daily basis. On a weekly basis, I am committing to planning out meals for the week. And I'm going to be doing this in tandem with my partner because we make meals and do cooking and things together. I'm also going to plan out some workouts. Again, keeping this flexible, keeping it aligned to myself, maybe where I'm at with my cycle at that time, and doing that on a weekly basis so I can stay in touch with my body and its needs. I'm also going to plan one kind of bigger, more intentional experience of fun or joy for the week, something to look forward to. And I'm also going to schedule 1 to 2 hours for that life admin, get shit done power hour, if you will. And then my daily commitments for this 30 days are as follows. Each and every moment that I can, I'm going to ask myself the question of, what could I do to make this moment more fun or enjoyable right now? I'm gonna do 3 to 5 minutes of my jumpies or dancing around in the morning to start my day. I also want to choose one space to declutter each day. I know that is a lofty goal, but I'm gonna make whatever the space is a really small space. So that may be just like one drawer in my desk, for example. But I really do want to commit to that on a daily basis. For you, maybe that is a more weekly thing, but use your discretion. Also daily, I am going to give myself at least 15 minutes of pure me time for me to just sit with myself and be, really being time. And I'm gonna commit winding down for bed at 8:45 p.m., giving myself lots of time to do things that are more low stimulation, no screens, anything that I can just actually wind down with to help with that sleep hygiene. And then of course, on a daily basis, also following through with those weekly commitments of whenever I plan to do them, and being gentle and flexible with myself, knowing that this doesn't need to be perfect, but I am going to be committed and devoted to these things over the next 30 days. I'm excited. I will update you on how they go. And if you are with me, if you want to also give yourself a challenge of 30 days to getting your spark back, I would love to hear what you take away from this video, what you're going to be committing to challenge yourself to do to get your spark back. Drop it in the comments, and I'm excited to update you on how things go. I know that getting your spark back sometimes may feel daunting, especially when life is overwhelming, but know that it is going to be so worth it. I know that it's going to be so worth it, and you deserve it. I deserve it. We all deserve it. And I can't wait for us to move from surviving to thriving.